Hi, I'm Michael Greenman. My wife, Donna, and I have been here at First UU for 20 years. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the Care and Share Time Bank, which is a subgroup of the Justice Action Ministry. Some years ago, I learned about the concept of a time bank. I was intrigued by the name and began to look into just what it was. What all time banks have in common is that they allow their members to exchange their skills with others in the community in exchange, not for money, but for our credits. Any community can incorporate a time bank or can be created by a time bank. The church is a perfect case. We're already a community. 1 hour of work, whatever it is, earns 1 hour credit, which can then be used anywhere in the system to buy an hour of any service they need that another member is offering. All transactions are recorded on a web database. The doctor earns the same hour credits as a babysitter or a gardener. No cash involved, and everyone's work is equal. It sounded to me like a great idea. Now, it's not bartering. You don't have to provide a service to the person that provided one to you. Your hour credits can be used for any service offered by any member. You may be thinking, but I don't have any skills that anyone else would need. People starting out often say that, but the truth is we all have value and skills, either that we've been using in our everyday activities all of our lives or in our profession or hobbies. The time bank process is particularly useful for folks who are or underemployed. They can benefit from the skills of others in their community without needing cash, using our credits earned by sharing their skills with others. In a nutshell, that's what a time bank is. So in late 2010, Alice Faryna and I, another UU, along with a couple of others, began to discuss the concept here at First UU, inviting church members and folks from the broader community to discuss the concept with us and join in the debate. Then on February 1, 2011, we launched the Care and Share Time Bank as a subgroup of JAM. In 10 years, we went from 30 members, both within the church and in the broader community. We began exchanging services. Let's see if I can get this to show. These are just examples, and earning and using our credits for all sorts of different services we needed and that we enjoyed providing. The type is small, but the full list can be obtained on our Facebook page. I'll give information on that later on. By the way, there are no dues to pay. We accept donations, and many members make an annual gift through the First UU to help with a few expenses that we might have. One of the glues that holds us together is a potluck. These are monthly get-togethers in Beach Hall to share a delicious meal, to discuss our services, sometimes to have an outside speaker discussing interesting subjects, and sometimes to have a party. Here's an example of gift exchanges during a holiday potluck, and it was the white elephant game. For participating in the potluck, we each received 2 hours credit from the time bank. Why? Because the potlucks are community builders, and building community is the basic purpose of a time bank. So the time bank itself is strengthened by putting our credits into the system. We all win. And since no cash is involved, the time bank has no budget to balance. A number of time bank members have become First UU members or friends once they learned more about us. Some romances have blossomed as a result. You may not realize it unless you're already involved, but our members, whether members of First UU or not, have been carrying out services for our church from the very beginning. And here are some examples. Helping with church workdays, doing maintenance, cleanup, gardening, washing dishes after church and non-church sponsored events, helping with coffee hour after the services, rearranging the worship center after use. One member, in fact, did this every week for several years, using a measuring stick to separate rows with precision, and putting away tables and chairs after a meeting. Perhaps also helping with meals, such as the senior luncheon. Other examples might be things like, let's get another slide up here if I can. Here are a few examples. Driving someone to the airport, if there's an out-of-pocket expense, the two parties agree on an appropriate small fee for gas and depreciation, and getting your house painted. Here's the example. One member is a massage therapist, so she offered a lot of massages, bought paint and brushes, and the Time Bank members came and painted the whole house, in this case, Alice Faryna. Here is another one, somebody organizing somebody's records, Traeger treatment, and I was getting a lesson from Judy on making a raised garden. So here we are in the COVID-19 pandemic. As many of you surely realize, things have changed. So why talk about CSTB now? Time Bank continues in new ways. With the quarantine in place, many of the services you might normally buy in the marketplace are no longer available. Many of these services can and are being provided by Time Bank members remotely through webinars, email, or phone calls. Some Time Bank members are also willing to safely carry out appropriate activities outside their homes when those needing them for whatever reason cannot get out. And second, and this is really critical, even as many businesses start to operate again, many will not, and some may never reopen. That means that or underemployment is likely to be a factor with folks struggling to make ends meet for a long time to come. Receiving services by using our credits through the Time Bank allows members to benefit from many they would normally have to pay for from increasingly limited resources. As an added feature, CSTB is part of a global network of time banks, and many servers that don't require in-person contact can be exchanged through the internet with members of that global community in about 30 countries. One example that I'm looking forward to using when this pandemic is over and the quarantine is done, there are a number of people in different countries offering their places as B&Bs. And you pay a couple of hours credit, plus a couple of dollars perhaps to cover expenses. You could be staying anywhere in the world. I told you earlier about some of the things that the Time Bank members do for First UU, but we could be doing a lot more. Many of our members have offered to perform senior support services. With appropriate due diligence and with whatever background checks might be required, we could be offering now, when COVID does not prevent it, companionship, sitting with or calling seniors who are shut-ins or need company, even just reading a book. Advocacy, teaming with seniors to address issues or questions with medical, governmental, financial, legal, or commercial providers. And transportation, shopping, and delivering to the front door. Lots more, of course, post-quarantine. Here's the key to this. Neither the Time Bank nor church membership by the seniors receiving services would be required, because credits are issued by the First UU affiliate itself, and these are services to the community, which is what the Time Bank is all about. So, if you're interested, how can you get involved? Well, here's one final slide. Let's see if we get there. There we are. Visit our Facebook page, Care and Share Time Bank, to find links to a number of documents of interest. Go to the national website, www.ourworld.org, to find the listing for CSTB in Columbus and register online. Once you're registered, you'll have a phone call or a FaceTime meeting with a Time Bank member, and that'll help you get going. You take the orientation presentation, which is also linked from the Facebook page. That'll get you set. And after doing all of that, which is not a big deal, you'll get a 2-hour credit to use anywhere within the system that you might want to use. And that's all there is to it. Now, obviously, we can't have live potlucks at the present time, so we're initiating Zoom meetings to stay in touch. And in fact, this talk is perfectly timed because our first Zoom meeting is next Sunday, 7 June at 6:30. Anyone can join us. You don't have to be a member. We'll provide the URL on our Facebook page, so please log in on the 7th to get involved or to learn more about it. Thanks for your interest, and please be safe and be well.